Hollywood loves nothing more than telling the rest of us how we should live and how we should think. It's heavy on the preach, light on the practice. This week's stars and supermodels flew in on private jets, taking a very well-earned break from hectoring us about their carbon footprint, attention for detail, for the Met Gala in New York, and what is now routinely a nauseating annual romp of tone-deaf extravagance became a glistening exhibition of Hollywoke hypocrisy. Well, the whole event was billed as a tribute to the late fashion king Karl Lagerfeld, indisputably one of the all-time great designers. A visitor from outer space would be forgiven for thinking he was some kind of hybrid, non-binary fusion of Mother Teresa and Nelson Mandela by the time this lot had finished the other night. But let's compare and contrast some of Lagerfeld's opinions with those peddled by the stars oozing their tributes to him on the red carpet. Here's Margot Robbie.
This is actually
gorgeous.
This dress was worn by Cindy Crawford in 1993.
Oh, wow.
They remade it for me, and it's obviously a Karl design, and I feel really great in it, actually. It's incredible. Obviously, the Met's always an exciting night, but I had the great privilege of getting to know Karl to an extent. I was the last Chanel ambassador that he picked.
What an honor.
Yeah, it is an honor.
Now, nobody bows in admiration more to Margot Robbie than me, one of the great actresses in the world right now, and a lovely lady. Met her a couple of times. But that's the same Margot Robbie who's a vocal advocate for gay marriage, famously wearing a pro-gay marriage T-shirt for an appearance on Saturday Night Live. I've got no issue with that, obviously. But Lagerfeld did. I'm against gay marriage, he told Vice magazine, the same year, before launching a stunning broadside against gay parents adopting children. Surely some mistake, Margot. And then there was Jared Leto, dressed up as a cat in homage, apparently, to Karl Lagerfeld's beloved pet. And yet here is Mr. Leto in 2015 giving an impassioned speech about refugees of the Syrian crisis.
By the way, many of us here are the sons and the daughters of immigrants. And Steve Jobs, the son of a Syrian immigrant.
Very moving, very laudable. But what about his hero Karl Lagerfeld? Well, in a shocking interview on the same refugee crisis, he evoked the Holocaust to attack former German Chancellor Angela Merkel for taking in too many refugees from Syria, or the enemy of the Jewish people, as he effectively called them. The list of the double standard goes on. Kim Kardashian joined the sycophantic parade. Of course she did. She turned up at the opening of a paper envelope. But despite Lagerfeld saying she was to blame for a robbery that she suffered in Paris because she flaunts her wealth on Instagram. He literally victim blamed her. But she forgave him because she gets a chance to wear a nice dress in a tribute to Karl Lagerfeld and be the centre of media attention, which is really what she loves doing most. Never mind the hypocrisy. And then there's my old friend Emily Ratajkowski, a vocal body positivity advocate and lioness of the Me Too movement, who appeared to have forgotten that Lagerfeld once described curvy women as fat mummies and said models should expect to be groped. This is the same ridiculous hypocrisy that leads to fugitive paedophile Roman Polanski bagging an Oscar and a standing ovation after his conviction. An ovation led by Meryl Streep, while the rest of us are just invited to forget about it. Now, I've had many run-ins with the British actress and activist Jameela Jamil. She can be incredibly irritating, and she would say exactly the same thing about me. But today she wrote this in response to the Met Gala. This isn't about cancel culture. It's not even about Karl. It's about showing how selective cancel culture is within liberal politics in the most blatant way so far. It's about showing why people don't trust liberals because of slippery double standards like this. Well, for possibly the first time ever, maybe the only time, ever. I agree with her. She's right. If you're going to use your positions of privilege to preach woke morality for the minions back home, you should start by practicing yourselves and maybe avoid treating as your hero somebody whose opinions are the complete opposite to everything you preach.